We surfcasters like to congratulate ourselves on how hard we work to find and catch fish. The long walks, late hours, and exposure to the elements makes the stripers we hook feel hard-earned, and therefore a greater accomplishment than those caught from seemingly easier pursuits, like on a boat. But after a couple outings with surfcaster Steve Gallant, I had to redefine my idea of hard work. Fishing on the North Shore of Massachusetts, Steve puts countless miles under his jetty cleats every season, and not with simple walks down the beach. A typical outing might find him scaling a sheer rock face or slogging through mud so soft and sticky it feels like it might suck your soul right out through the bottom of your wading boot. Over 2 trips last year, Steve showed me the 2 different phases of his striper season: early summer in the backwaters and fall on the rocky oceanfront. The salt marshes of Ipswich and Essex are famous for producing soft-shell clams. Battered and fried whole, the clams make a delicious, yet filling meal. Yet being so close to where the first clam was fried some 100 years ago, the indulgence felt necessary. I do wish I'd had a better grasp on how far we'd be hiking to the spot when I ordered a full pint instead of a half pint, however. While I was digesting dinner, Steve gave a rundown of how he rigs his soft plastic stick baits for fishing the backwaters.
So we're going to do a quick tutorial about rigging the gravity tackle 13.5-inch eel. I like to use them on an exposed jig head. Most of the areas that I'm fishing, there's no need to rig it weedless, and I think that it's a better hookup ratio overall. So when I'm going ahead to rig these, the first thing I'm going to want to do is put my hook down the side of the soft plastic so I can get an idea of where that hook point is going to come out. And I try to use the type on the top of it. So on this one, I'm going to try and get that hook point to come out between the T and the I in gravity. And then what I'm going to do is just try and sneak this or send this hook through as straight as I can, keeping an eye on where that hook point is. And when it starts to get down towards that V in the I, I'm going to start bringing it back out. We're almost there. All right, and then I'm going to bring it right back out. As I bring that hook point through, it's going to be right where I want it. Last thing I'm going to do, take a little dab of super glue. Back that off a little bit. Just a little dab of super glue in there. Cinch that up tight. That bad boy's not going anywhere. Ready to catch.
Steve begins his season in the estuaries, where large stripers follow herring, bunker, and other bait fish up the rivers and into quiet marshes. He hunts these fish in the deeper channels where bass sit, ready to ambush unsuspecting bait. The opportunity to catch 20-pound and larger stripers in waterways you can almost cast across makes this a unique and exciting fishery.
Oh! Well, that didn't take long.
I don't think that's very big, but it's a start. It's a good sign. That's not a bad fish. Right there. Green.
Oh, dude, that took, what was that, your 3rd cast?
That's not a bad fish, actually.
All right, dude.
All right.
That is a beautiful backwater bass.
Yeah, we're talking, I don't know, 34, 35 inches maybe. Oh boy, we got a fish rodeo going on. That's a good start.
Absolutely, man.
And that's I got a natural, very natural eel pattern on right now. They get a lot bigger than that back here. There we go.
Oh, dude.
Hack it up.
The early action was encouraging, but the next few hours failed to produce another bite.
4 hours would be daylight, no?
Yeah, I mean, by the time it starts turning back on, it's gonna be 3. It starts getting light a little after 4.
The 2023 striper season had been running about 1 moon phase ahead of schedule, and while the timing of the trip seemed perfect back in February, By the time I'd gotten there, the bulk of the stripers had already moved back to the ocean. As the sun rose over the marsh, we made plans to meet up again in the fall. The North Shore of Massachusetts has a rich surfcasting culture, and nowhere is that more evident than in Surfland Bait and Tackle. Opened in 1960 by Kay and Ray Moulton, the shop remains a hub for current intel while functioning as the keepers of more than a half-century of striper fishing history. Inside, you'll find custom plugs, custom bags, a wall of 50-pounders weighed at the shop over the years, and a big old eel tank chock full of striper candy. It's a must-stop shop for any fanatical surfcaster. Unlike the nighttime trip back in June, this October outing would take place under the autumn sun.
I feel like a lot of the fish this time of year are gonna be really tight. Like, see how you got like this outflow right here where this foam is going out?
Yeah,
that's
all the way
where, yeah, exactly. There's like a rip current going out right there. And I feel like sometimes they stack up along that. But definitely like, I feel like most of the fish are gonna be in close, just on the other side of where those waves are breaking. So.
It looks good, man.
It looks
nice
good.
and
I think
fishy.
with a little more light, hopefully something will start to happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this side of you.
I think I got popped on like my third cast, but it's tough to tell. It's tempting to throw topwaters, but while these guys have topwater covered, I figure I might as well throw a jig. Absolute. Never surf fish without a couple of these in your bag. Just a little white bucktail, piece of white pork rind. I mean, especially in the wash like this. Sandy beach, rocky ledges, doesn't matter. Like, this looks like so many different bait fish. And the best part about them is when you have one like this is an Andrus jetty caster, so it's tied with a little extra hair. It really slows down the sink rate, especially with that trailer. Lets it kind of hover right in place, put it right in front of the fish. And man, I catch more fish on bucktails in a given season than probably the rest of the lures combined. But Steve's moving down the point a little bit. I'm gonna follow him.
Let's go, let's move down this way. I'm getting a bunch of weed on my line.
Yeah, I was picking up a ton there.
All right.
Not feeling it?
It's all weed out there.
Definitely missing chicklets. There's like, how many were there? Like 4? Oh boy, a lot of pressure on them. Just get me to November. That's the state of my surf fishing gear right now. Just needs to survive one more month. Then I buy brand new boots.
See, that's what they're supposed to look like.
We're missing a couple. I'm putting a lot of pressure on these. I got a lot of faith in these 4.
You got a lot of miles on those.
No, I got a lot on this one. This one's doing all right.
That's what a
The
good
boot
pair is
itself
supposed.
isn't in
That's what a
great
good pair
shape.
is supposed to look like.
Timing a good fall-around bite can be a tricky thing. With the striper's presence in the surf zone dependent on migrating bait fish, we were hoping to find big schools of peanut bunker hugging the coast. Instead, the rocky surf was devoid of bait, forcing us to look for structure that might be holding bass.
There we go. There we go. All right, man.
Right in the wash.
All right. A little schooly. Pretty fish, man. The healthy little schooly. Broke the icebreaker for me.
That's a start.
He was right.
Yeah.
Kinda right
see
on the
how
edge.
you kind of have like, I always am looking for these like outflows. Like you can kind of see like there's these areas where they're basically like rip currents like you get at beaches.
Yeah, because
where water comes in and it all funnels out in an area, and it seems like the bass, they tend to gravitate towards these outflows.
It makes sense, man. Any bait fish is
Sort
going to
of
get
like a
disoriented.
beach, you know, like when you're targeting like the outflow of like a gutter or like a sandbar or something
Yeah, you're
like
fishing
that.
the cut in the sandbar more
Exactly.
or less, and everything's flushing right through that.
That's a real wave. Heads
Oh
up.
yeah.
Please break, please break. Okay.
Man, that's why you always got to keep that head on a swivel, dude. Never want to turn your back to that.
No, do not turn your back. That was a lot. Yeah, we might have to find a new spot here in a minute. We're gonna get pushed off this.
Yeah, getting pushed back by the incoming tide.
All right, so.
That big rock the spot near it.
Yeah, this is the spot right over here. So what we got is, there's a reef right here. You can kind of see it out in the edge. There's a reef right here. And when the waves come, they break over here. You got a deeper pocket on this side. There's like a little hole in here. And it seems like this hole right in front of us, I'm hoping that the weed is out past like where we normally want to be fishing anyway. So in here, the water looks pretty clean.
It looks cleaner,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. How heavy a bucktail you got on?
3/4.
3/4? Mine might be too heavy. I got 1.5 ounces. Maybe that's too heavy.
I've got some heavier ones if I... Oh, it's brisk. For all these rocks and ledges, it's pretty forgiving snag-wise.
Yeah, well, yes and no. There are definitely some spots that you will get locked in, but come on, fishes. Come on.
There we go.
There you go. Might be a little better.
Yeah. Dude, right where he was supposed to be.
Right where he's supposed to be.
Gotta figure out the landing.
So that's not a schoolie.
No, dude, pretty fish. There we go. All right, incoming tide, man. Definitely been here for about 5 minutes. I missed one, picked up this one, dude. Beautiful fish. That fish, it felt like he was right where he was supposed to be, man. On
right
that
in this
wash.
like veil of white water right here.
You got the shallower water there, goes into a little bit deeper hole, waves washing into
And this
it.
reef, it just creates all this wave action. And this is what they want. All the oxygen too, like in the water.
An absolute happy place for them, man.
They definitely fight harder, I feel like, when there's all this oxygen.
He was pretty charged up.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah? All right. Was that on a plastic?
Yep. Not very big, but we're trending in the right direction.
I want to see how you land them in this stuff. Just wait for a wave to wash them up in range.
Use the wave. You're not too different what you did. A little different when you get big fish, though.
Especially fishing around rocks, like once in a while it doesn't hurt. If you're fishing a jig, you're contacting the rocks just to check it for sharpness. So one way to do it is running it on the back of your finger. I mean, you can just feel it and get kind of a good idea for it, but you can run it along the back of your fingernail, and if it sticks, Usually it's a good sign it's sharp enough, but as it hits the rocks, even as it hits sand, the hook will dull up a little bit. This one, I pinched the barb on it. Just kind of expecting that if we were seeing some schoolie fish, it would make for some easier releases. That hook point's still nice and sharp. Looks good, man. I mean, it doesn't, just as simple gets, but just one of the best striped bass catchers out there. Was one. So in front of me there's a foam line. There's like a line where you have waves hit the rocks, create all that foam and whitewater, and that fish was sitting right on the edge of it. The one I just missed. Didn't get him this time.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, looks like a better one.
Might be.
Is that your first cast with a bucktail?
Second.
Pretty good, man. Oh, man. One more wave, deliver them up. Look at that. Well done, man.
All right.
They do get charged up in this.
Yeah, there's this whitewater. It's just packed with oxygen, and yeah, it seems like this time of year, if you get fish in the whitewater, it's a whole different fight. And as opposed to if you get them like midsummer when the water's still really warm, you know.
Oh, no way.
I don't think this one's too big.
Oh, all right.
All right, all right. That one was like, he was like rolling up the rocks when he hit that.
You might have noticed that Steve and I aren't wearing waders. That's because on the sheer, rocky coastline where he fishes, getting knocked down by a wave and dragged into deeper water is a distinct possibility. Should that happen, waders, which would fill with water, present a major hazard. Under these circumstances, it's much safer to fish in a wetsuit or in light pants with a surf top or rain jacket.
It's amazing to me that these fish can even find these bucktails in this water. It blows my mind, like constantly, like when you hook fish in this water and it's like, how can they see it? Like,
it's just a sea of what, just a washing machine.
And honestly, sometimes the most turbulent water is what you actually catch them in. It's wild.
It just, I mean, they're built for it. A striped bass is just designed, it's evolved to live in environments like this and hunt in environments like this.
Do you think their lateral lines help them a lot in this?
It's gotta be. It has to be that. I can't imagine there's got to be some visual component, but there's got to be a lot of like detecting it. Yeah, but it's got to be just like sensing, like. Damn, man, that was like 4 hits in 10 minutes. I don't know, is that a roving pack of fish that moved by?
Seems to be the thing today. It's like you pick a few off and then you gotta go find a new spot. Oh.
You get hit?
Might have. Yep.
Not a bad fish.
Nice, dude.
Not that big. Fault like it though.
There we go. All right, man. It's happening
There
now.
you
go. You're good, fire away.
Nice.
Try to land him as gently as possible.
There we go.
Super green, fresh from the sea. 2 quick bass to move back. Look, all that weed's gone.
Yeah.
It cleared right out.
Probably got pushed right up into there. Hopefully. Yeah, that wasn't more than like 45 minutes ago. Yeah, it's funny. It just seems like there's a couple fish in a spot, you hit it, and then...
That's it. Yeah, I don't know if they're fast-moving groups or, like we said earlier, there's just not a lot of them.
Like, are there other ones down there? Like, I just saw what happened to him. I'm not falling for that. I just watched my friend.
I swear I've had that happen.
Yeah.
At night, where it's like a lure change gets you right back in on.
While we hadn't found the fall blitz we were hoping for, Steve's knowledge of his home waters, hard-won over hours of surf casting, helped us put together a fun day at the ocean's edge. Fishing with guys like Steve, who are always willing to trek that extra mile to find out what's around the next point, inspires me to walk a little further when fishing my own waters, and perhaps opt for the salad over the fried food to make those walks a little easier.